A yellow chair, an empty room, a breathing tube, a half-made memory is what is left of you and me. Metal words fill the floor. I see a flag on a rooftop floor, in the wind in a distant land. A yellow chair, an empty room, a breathing tube, a half-made memory is what is left of you and me. Metal words fill the floor. I see a flag on a rooftop floor, in the wind in a distant land. from my veins, and all I need is time to breathe. Yeah, there you were, on the signs ahead. For 14 hours, a ghost that sat by my side, and how I dreamed you in my mind. Because you turned me on just to turn me off. You gave me wings, and then you brought me to hell. Am I a Polaroid in you? Let's breathe in while you're seething. Your restlessness consuming us. A radio plays the song again. I tune it out for melodies, just rewind. What is lost, I lost 3 times. What you are, what you seem to be, now all gone, hopelessly never freed. And what was broken stayed with me. Because you turned me on just to turn me off. You gave me wings, and then you brought me to hell. Am I a Polaroid in you, and you? That's breathing while you're seething. Your restlessness consumes me whole. A yellow chair, an empty room, a breathing tube, a half-made memory is what is left of you and me. Metal words fill the floor. I see a flag on a rooftop in the wind in a distant land. You turned me on just to turn me off. You gave me wings, and then you brought me to hell. Am I a Polaroid in you, and you, and you, and you, and you? You turned me on just to turn me off. You gave me wings, and then you brought me to hell. Am I a Polaroid in you, and you, and you, and you, and you? A yellow chair, empty room, a breathing tube, a half-made memory is what is left of you and me. You and me.
Hi everyone, how are you? Let me say hi to everyone here on the chat. It's like just zooming by. I was trying to type, but typing was not is already not my forte, but it was even worse. Hi Todd, JPK, Jay the teacher, Alfonso, Brian, Mai, Lalo, Jake on Meta and YouTube. Mr. Hail Slayer on YouTube, awesome. Latin DJ, Brian, Fabian, Ariel, ¿cómo estás? Who am I missing? Oh boy, it's going. Oh, hi, Wendy, Walter, TMT Mixes. Oh my gosh, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are so awesome to spend this time with me. Apparently, I'm streaming on X right now, but I have no idea if I am or not. So I'm going to have to just look real quick just to make sure that something's happening. Oh, yeah, it is. I guess so. It is. Good. I'm streaming on X2 today. Wow, that's good. I finally bit the bullet and got my blue check, which is kind of interesting because I was going to change something and it wouldn't let me because it says you have a blue check. Now, whenever you change something, it takes 24 hours, which is among other weird things going on with X today. But, or this whole week has been weird when it comes to stuff. But I digress. Yes, I'm going to start early. Because let me tell you, the studio is all jacked up. It's not set for anything because I was working on other projects trying to get certain things done with the book. But I guess I'm getting ahead of myself here. Ooh, Jay the teacher, thank you for that. The universe is expanding soon with other verses. Indeed. Latin DJ says, Ariel, I'll send you my email. You can send me this version to play in clubs. Of course I allow it. For sure. You could email me too and I'll send it to you. It's funny because, now I'm thinking about it and it's like, we never actually released that single. You know that? So there's a lot of things I want to talk about, the topic is going to change slowly over time. And Jake says, how have you been, Claude? I've been okay. I've been all right. It's been a bit of a ride this week. But let me give you the skinny on certain things. Unless I already did I? No, I didn't do that yet. So yeah, just give me a moment here because everything's all jacked up, man. So I don't know if I have it. Do I? Maybe. Let's see. It's a good thing that X does work for me in this case. I wanted to show you something. Let's see if it pops up. And it does not. Ah, man, that's funny. Oh, well. But, so the news let's get through the news portion and then I'll play some stuff. Cause look, I got the requests from people and right here in front of me and some of them are really cool. I'm going to play, obviously, if you know how I do with the request thing, I may not play the exact mix that you asked for. I may play a demo version of it. I may play a version of the song that you've never heard before. An edit that I might put together. Like, you never know what's going to happen on this thing, which is why it probably doesn't do well. But that's okay. I don't care. Because I'm not a YouTuber and I don't give a shit about that stuff. So it doesn't matter. Yes, I said the bad word. I'm sorry. But this week. Okay, so the upcoming release party for the album for Other Verses is next week on the 6th at 7 p.m. Pacific on Bandcamp. And I'm going to follow that up with a deeper discussion on the stream at 8. So it'll be like a long, long night of my birthday. It's my intention to celebrate my birthday with all of you and the entire world at large. Yes, the entire world, because that's okay. And, but I will let you know this. On the 1st, the pre-orders for the CD go live on Bandcamp, which means the album goes live on the 1st. I couldn't stop it from doing that I couldn't do the release party without having the album be public, which is really dumb. You would think that you could set a release party and that's the day that the album gets released and that's the party. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. And so I can't do a listening party on Bandcamp unless I do it on the 1st. So unless of course, Well, no, there's no way because I couldn't do a schedule. Like I just couldn't. I remember now. I couldn't schedule it at all without making it live. So it'll go live on Monday, on whatever the or whenever the first is. Um, Probably around 11 p.m. And then that way you can get the CD. Start doing pre-orders on the CD, which should arrive on the 1st or 2nd. So it'll be just in time, I think. It's looking good, timing wise. And then when you get the CD, of course, you get the download of the 24-bit version, which is nice. And all that stuff happens. And then, of course, the album hits on Spotify and all that on my birthday. And then that's when the official release date on Bandcamp is. And that's when we'll do our thing. And I can't see your chats because everything just disappeared. Where is my chats? Oh, thank you, Latin DJ. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. It is at 7. But maybe you'll be able to watch it. You know, like I said, I had to kind of stagger it that way. Otherwise the stream would be like an all-nighter and there's people that are in South America and, you know, all that good stuff. I'm sorry. I know it's not going to please everyone. I can't please everyone. And that's the problem. That's the problem, isn't it? Worldwide, that's the problem. We can't please everyone. But yeah, so that said, I have a show coming up in New Jersey on November 2nd. That's going to be to celebrate the existence of the clubs that bore the existence of ABOX, which is, of course, the Pipeline, the Loop Lounge, and Aldo's. And I spent many a night in those 3 places, but very specifically the first 2, where we played many of our first gigs and many of our most important gigs, I would say. And so it's going to be nice to celebrate. So I'm hoping it's going to be a fun night. I'm still trying to figure out what the set is going to be like, because when the album comes out, I will be able to include songs that were in our earliest sets. So I think that will be interesting for Jersey. So they get a first crack at some of the new sets. So it's kind of, it'll be fun. And on that topic, I was on a podcast with Glory Noise TV. I hope I'm saying all this right. With Joel Gouston, also featuring Mike Z of Jersey Wave, and he's an ex-ABOX member, of course. And we got together to talk about the clubs and the impact on our formative years. We talked about new wave and, you know, post-punk and all that stuff. It was a really fun conversation. And I will link, so you can have the link and then just grab it later, I suppose. I will put the link in the chat so that people can, you know. But T. Marcus says, is this the first time you've streamed on X? No, it's not actually. But X changed the rules where you have to have a blue check in order to stream. And so they stopped me from streaming for a little bit. And I had contemplated about the idea of getting a blue check. You know, it's the way it goes. But I am still streaming on Twitch. I am still streaming on Instagram. Well, not Instagram because it's so weird. I could stream on Instagram, but it's a pain in the butt. I'm gonna definitely try to do that next week though, so that I can reach everyone. But it's sort of a pain. They force you to reconfigure software every single time you do it, which I don't like. At least with the others, I don't have to worry about it. So, thank you, Giuseppe. I love you too. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Someone's having caipirinhas? Oh man, I'm missing out. Now I've got FOMO. Latin DJ says, do you have the whole video for Polaroid? No. In fact, that's something I'm going to talk about, still part of the news section. You know, it's one of those things. So anyway, what was I saying? Shows. Oh yeah, shows are coming up. So yeah, in November I will probably get busy, and I think there's a Chicago show in the works. Of course, a Texas run, and who knows where else. And next year I'm going to Germany, which is nice. But it's a little early to talk about that one, so I'm not gonna. But yeah, a lot of weird decisions this week with regards to the album. So I had to like work my butt off, man. And what's funny is I was looking for like stuff to play for today besides the, of course, requests and all that stuff. And I happened upon that Polaroid video, and I realized, yeah, that was a promo that we never used it. And in fact, the single that was never released, all that stuff went to hell in a handbasket when Spotify decided that they weren't going to allow me to put Polaroid out as anything box, which really sucked. And not just Polaroid, but Fast Forward. But I'm still trying to figure out if it's doable. So if it is, I'm going to keep trying to see if that can happen. But sorry, those mixes are kind of in limbo at the moment. Although I know some of the bands that did remixes put them out on their own Spotify. So if you're doing Spotify and all that, check it out. But yeah, it happens. But let's play a song. And then when I come back, we'll continue talking about what's going on with the album and things like that. Because there's some interesting aspects of this I want to discuss 1 week before the actual release. It's finally time that I can tell you some secrets. And so, because I've done something that's a little weird, and I held it off for a while now. So, not the album, but I held off telling you how I'm going to do something that's a little bit different with Spotify. And I wanted to kind of let you in on it before the debut of the album, because it's going to get weird. So, what? That's funny. That's funny. So, X is tweeting for me. That's nice. So, anyway, let's play a song. This is a request that came from... Let's see. Who requested this one? Oh, okay. Alfonso. And I have to disappoint you on this one. Yeah, Alfonso requested The World Without Love, the M-Pop edit. And instead I'm going to play the demo. The demo version of World Without Love from Worth. And there's a reason. I'm going somewhere with this one. Because as it turns out, a lot of people requested stuff off of Worth, and I didn't want this to be just a Worth party. So I did a few weird things. So anyway, here's the Worth demo from 1991. World Without Love, the demo version. So, okay. So everyone got this all confused, so I'm going to be clearer. But it will be, it'll be on all my socials. Like literally on the 1st, you'll start to see stuff. So, but here's the skinny. So Bandcamp won't let me do a release party on the 6th unless I release it on the 6th, and that's when I do it. So I can make the album available on the 6th, but then I don't have time to promote anything. And I don't get the landing page that they give me and all that stuff. It's a little stupid and convoluted. So the only way that I can do a release party on the 6th and be able to advertise it is I have to make the album live a few days early. So I'm going to explain it like this. On the 1st, I will make the album non-private, which means that yes, you'll have access to it and you'll see everything. And you'll be able to listen to it if you like. But the actual release party is on the 6th, which is next Friday, right before the stream. So yeah, you can still listen to it probably and, get a head start, get ahead of it if you want. But it would be nice if you joined me for the release party. And next time I will do it a little differently. See, I thought I could save everything as a draft and still have a release party, and not really. So it kind of messed it all up. So, which is funny because in a quirky twist of fate, one of the videos that was supposed to not be shown, which I'll show you in a little bit, got shown a few days early because Facebook screwed me over and scheduled it all wrong and, for lack of a better word, chueco. So instead of posting the video for this stream on Monday, it posted a video snippet of one of the songs on the album on Monday on all my socials, which kind of sucked. So my scheduler, like, maybe it was user error. So the whole thing is bunk, and it's going to mess everything up. But it's okay. It's okay because it's a good lesson, because I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen. Once it's out, we're going to go nuts because we're going to have a lot of fun things to do with regards to this record, and I want your help. So I told you that I was going to do, I know, chueco, I know. So let me give you a bit of other news regarding album stuff, just because I want to get this out of the way before we get into like other topics. But let me start my timer too, so I know I'm not like overdoing it with the talk. So as you know, or may know, I was working on my Patreon and a Discord channel, and that kind of is on hold. At least for the time being, it's on hold. And the reason it's on hold is because of certain bits of news that have come out, which we're going to get into in the next bit of the topic. But it kind of informed my decision to hold off on both of those channels a little longer. And I decided instead to work on my premium account on X, because I intend to do a lot of posting on X. And I don't want my post to be limited in size. I wanted to be able to do longer videos and all that stuff. So I actually bit the bullet, got my blue check. So X is going to become a very important place for me to basically, interact with the world. So it changes a few dynamics, because there were some elements of Patreon and Discord which were going to be very private with regards to ABOX, but I think that can be solved a different way, because I have I can do special things with X that will have like cool spaces for us to join, and it gives me an opportunity to try other things, and that it's something that I really want to do, especially with regards with X, because I view X as the whole world now. It's not just social media. It is a world platform. And I feel like to participate in world events on any level, I actually think that it's the only one that I really want to you know. But of course I'm going to stay on Facebook. I'm not leaving Facebook or Meta or, I'm not leaving Instagram. I'm going to be posting in all of my socials. So, I'm going to take the time to do it on all of them. However, X is going to be a platform I really want to grow only because I feel like this is where the whole world is. And, Latin DJ says private is better to charge members because an artist must have the word to spread. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with your statement. I just feel that charging, not that I feel it's wrong, but I feel that there are different ways to get around that stuff. And it has a lot to do with the way that I'm going to promote the album on Spotify, which is a little conversation we're going to have right now. So the album comes out on Spotify and iTunes on the 6th. And what you're going to notice when it's out is that it will appear as though there's a lot of extra tracks on the Spotify version. It's going to look that way for sure. But let me assure you, it isn't. It is the same amount of tracks with the exception of a few little things that I've done. And I'm going to reveal something that I've done now that the album is accepted and it's in the system, and hopefully it goes under the radar what I've done. But I'm gonna explain. So the way that I view Spotify, and not specifically iTunes, because iTunes you can still kind of own the stuff, but the way that I view Spotify is I'm viewing it strictly as a radio station, meaning I send stuff for them to play. And it dawned on me as I was working on the album that what I want them to play doesn't have to be what is actually released. It could be other things too. So what do I mean by that? So let me give you an example. I don't want to give tracks away, so that's not, so I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. Basically, I found a loophole, an interesting loophole, a very amazingly awesome, sneaky loophole. Which means that I figured out a way to tie different albums from ABOX to the same album that is going to be released in a weird way that has never been done before. And it involves playlists and a new form of playlisting. Think of it like this. If you were listening to a radio station or one of your favorite radio stations, you would hear a station ID. Think of it in those terms. There are literally forms of station IDs that I have put into the album that are not useful for the album per se in the Spotify version, in the Bandcamp version or the CD version. They're there, but they're more veiled. But on Spotify, they're blatant. And the reason they're blatant is so that we can sneak in certain things about playlists to other realms of existence. And I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but you will understand. You will totally understand. You're going to be like, what the hell did Claude just do? And maybe I'll get kicked off Spotify. But if I don't get kicked off Spotify, which is something I hope doesn't happen, I've opened the door for other artists to do the same thing. So let me explain what I mean by this before I play another song. So what do I mean by this? Well, artists already don't get paid a lot on Spotify. And that's a fact. And I understand that. However, yes, J-Wires, yes, you've got it. No. Not specifically what you asked, J-Wires. You'll have to look at the chat to see what he asked me, but no. But yes to half of that. I just thought that it would be silly to not have rappers used to do it all the time. They would do these really weird little scenes. But what I did was something a little different. I thought that what I would do is strange playlist remixing. And it's a unique thing. And I had to test it on my own before I could know that it would work, and it works. So it's going to be fun. So I'll be able to do some really cool promos for the album and play favorite songs that people like from all over the internet on top of it. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. And when people figure out what I'm doing, which you will, next week you're going to figure it out. I think it's going to be copied quite a lot. And I think it should be, because what we should do is put our singles and our albums and our wares on Spotify as commercials. And the commercials should be something that then allow people to figure out that there are other worlds that this artist, does. And therefore, reasons to own the physical pieces more than a streaming piece. And so I know it was complicated, but it won't be so complicated once I start. You'll see. It's going to be awesome. And it'll give me a chance to do something I've been dying to do on the channel and in other places, which I haven't done, which is like sort of work my own playlists, which is something I've always been interested in, because I know a lot of old new wave tracks from different artists that nobody knows, because I've been around the block. So I want to like put compilations together of different things and be able to pivot those things in a cool way. And so it's going to happen. So anyway, let's play a song. But then I'll explain why not on Patreon and all that. But it'll be interesting, I promise. That's why I say tune in next week. It's going to be fun. Totally, totally fun. So this one, God, the time is going quick. So, sorry. This one was requested from, did I forget a song? Yikes. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. This one came from, gosh, I can't even find it. Oh, there it is. Shit. I forgot to put it in the playlist. Hold on. That's because this is a really rare one. So, Wendy on X requested Wedding Day. This is a version of Wedding Day that I probably have never played on the stream. This is the longer demo, which after a while became part of our live set. So this is like kind of the way we used to do it. I wish we would have done the dance version and done a real proper remix of it, but we didn't. So the closest we had was this version, which is a longer demo. So I'm going to play that, and then I'll come back, and then we'll go over whatever it is we're going over. So, yeah. Wedding Day, the longer demo from 1991. From Worth.
that I'm happy for you. Looking out my window, I could swear I feel your hands holding mine on your wedding day. On your wedding day.
Yeah, vinyl is interesting for this album too. So I will answer this question. Will it come out on vinyl? It can, because it has the right time to have vinyl. So it is possible to do vinyl for it, but I will not do vinyl until the book is done, until the book is out, because I feel the book is more important. And the reason, and look, I know we're going to disagree on so many things on this stream. I know it. But the reason is that the book is basically 40 pages of curated art and lyrics, and I could not do that on a vinyl record. In fact, trying to figure out the art alone just for the CD itself was a chore, because I had to sift through like 40 pages worth of art and just basically decide, if this is the cover and back cover, what's going on the inside and how different is it going to be from the book and all that stuff. So it's a bit of a pain, and the design that I picked didn't help in the end. So for vinyl, it would almost be sad, because you would have to have, like, I would want to do colored vinyl, which that's one thing, but the other part of it is I would want to do an insert that at least has 2 panels. And the cost of doing that was more than a 40-page hardcover 8x10 book. So that is a deterrent for me, especially when I can sell you the book for the same price as the vinyl. And then, you know, you can download the 24-bit version, burn your own CD if you like, or just have the CD and just go crazy. You know, take the book in your backpack and, you know, whatever. So I'm opting for the art. So as far as the book is concerned, yeah, I'm working on it. It's hard work. It is very hard work. I'm 65% there, and that's not an odd thrown out figure. I actually have a way of measuring it in the software. It tells me where I'm at. And I'm literally 65% in. I have 18 pages to go to finish. And so, a star beanie. I can't even find a backup star beanie. Are you kidding? Yeah. Jay says, will the album have tracks listed unlike the Hope Worth CD? Yes, the tracks will be listed. In fact, even on the book, they're listed. And like I said, it's going to be an interesting journey. I'm going to tell you this as a hint. The CD and the book are going to be worth having, because they're going to contain weird things in them that will take you to other things. So let me leave it at that. It'll be an album. It'll be one of the first ABOX album that is going to keep on giving. I'm telling you right now, it's just going to keep on giving. And there is a connection, a very definite connection between this album and the Hope Worth CD and the Hope Worth 12-inch. So you know. But yeah, I know people want the vinyl, and I think I will do it, but I don't think it's going to happen until early next year. It depends. It depends a lot on how things go. So to give you the real truth on this, um, as if I was lying this whole time. No, the real truth is this. It's very difficult to be the person that records stuff, produces it, masters it, then manufactures it, then has to like ship them out and all this stuff. And that part is, that's when I actually like the idea of like mass production and putting stuff in stores. So I'm looking into distribution channels for the book specifically. And if I can do that and I can have the book wind up in bookstores, then I can do larger numbers. And, so I'm interested in doing that. So anyway, so yeah. So that's the reason, but the book is looking great. In fact, I shouldn't even tell you this, but it'll probably be 2 books before it's a 12-inch. Let me put it to you that way, because there's a whole other thing that I haven't even started on yet. So it'll be fun. I promise you, it'll be fun. But yeah, some of it does hark back to the Hopeworth CD a little bit. Whereas you're going to understand some of the drawing things that you saw on that album. And so, yeah, Mike, I'm seeing the little blurbs in the chat there. Yeah, Mike Z used to be in ABOX, and he was with us until 1990. So yeah, so yeah, book is gonna be interesting. So I'm happy that it's like coming together, and it has not been an easy thing. In fact, I still have, like I said, that 65, I'm done with it, 65% of it. That last 35% is just insane how much I have to do. So yeah, I'm thinking by September 15th, I'll be done with layouts for that book. And then I'll put that into production. But by then the album will be in full swing and I'll be promoting and stuff. So it'll be a good timing for the book to arrive. And then we'll know, of course, if there's a reason to print vinyl at that point. I think by then we'll know. You know what I mean? But I'm open. I made the album short enough that it does fit on vinyl. There are other worlds. That's all I can say. But anyway, so back to part of that topic, because we were talking about the whole Patreon and Discord. So they're not ready. And I don't think that I can pull off the promo schedule that I have planned and work on those sites. I have to sort of limit what I do in certain projects, and they're just too big for me right now. And some of the recent news that's come out this week, which is going to bring us right into the next topic, has not been good for some of those social media platforms that have privacy as part of their thing. So I don't know if you know this, but I hope I'm saying this right. Pavel Durov, the CEO of Telegram, was arrested in France this week and charged with several counts of terrorism, of all things. What did he do? He wouldn't censor speech. He basically would not bend the knee to the government of France and other governments in Europe that said that they wanted to be able to monitor people's tweets, posts and communications. Now, I understand the different points of view that arise with this issue, because it's an issue that's happening right now with X and Brazil. But this one was interesting to me because he was coerced into going to France so they could arrest him. And there's literally no due process in this. So I think it sets a precedent and not a good one. So for me, it was like, oh man, I almost had a whole Telegram thing going, because I don't know if you remember, but I was going to do the ABOX forums on Telegram, and that was one of the places I was going to look into. And to find out that he got arrested, um, is a very bad thing. It is a terrible thing. So yeah, X in Brazil is going through it right now. And look, I know there's people out there, because I actually got into it with someone today about this, that are saying like, X shouldn't be interfering in, another country's politics. I agree. I agree with that to some degree. However, that isn't the reason. The reason that this is a terrible thing is because they wanted names of employees who were posting dissident things against their government. So this is not the same as this is our policy. When you want names of people to arrest them because you don't like what they're saying, you're getting into very deep trouble. And it's very troubling. I'm with Snowden, and I'm with, with the idea that the best way to regulate free speech is more free speech. The more that you have people that you disagree with and you can, quite frankly, make fun of, the easier it is to limit bad speech. I'll give you a really good example. Back in the 1980s, when there was no internet, you would see, the Nazi skinhead types that were like total white power, all that kind of stuff. You would see them. You would see them at like punk rock shows. Nobody gave them no one cared. No one gave them any attention. They were there. In fact, you might even dance with some of them like when you were in a club. It didn't even matter. It was their thing. You're like, whatevs. It's what you're into is boring, man. It's not going to work. And it was really that easy to just cut them off. Now, you could say, let's not allow them into the club. But then what happens is when you do this, it's only a matter of time before someone says, well, people who wear pink aren't going to be allowed into the club. People who are into this sort of music aren't going to be allowed into the club. Oh, you're into hip hop and you're black? You're not allowed into the club because that's what we think. This is what you cannot do. Do you understand? You cannot do that. And because eventually the voice that someone at the top or the high echelons of society will want to censor, maybe your voice, that came out all wrong. Someone on the elite class is someday going to want to censor you who was previously on your side. And this is a fact. It's going to happen. So I don't think that, Todd, I agree. Brazilian politicians insisted that some accounts not be allowed to post because of fake news. But who determines what fake news is? Who makes the determination? Who has the right? I say the people have the right. If you see a news story and it has no sources, I think 100 million people have the right to say, boo, fake news, and ignore it. Or they can say, wait a minute, this is a whistleblower and he's telling the truth and this needs to be spread. Yes, let's do it. That's what I'm saying. The answer to policing free speech is more free speech. It's not going to be less free speech. Do you think I want to, listen, do you really think that I want to go on X every day and see, hate speech, anti-white rhetoric, anti-black rhetoric, anti-Semitism, rampant, let's kill all Palestinian. Do you think I want to see all of that? The alt-right or the alt-left, calling each other names and all. Do you really think that I, as an individual, as an artist, want to see this every day? Of course I don't. But do I want it gone so that only my personal beliefs and my own ideologies, however crazy they may be, are the only ones that should be there? No. So this is what I think. And this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree. What I think is that by seeing these other things, by seeing these other points of view, I know, wow, there are minds out there that still need to wake up. Or there's still minds out there that can use a different point of view. Can I offer it? Can they offer me something? Have I learned something from this person that normally is in direct opposition to me, but can I learn from them? Is there something we can agree on? Because I find it hard to believe that if you're part of Group A, you can only believe everything that Group A does, and you can't believe anything that Group B does. I find that to be, quite frankly, part of human stupidity, because it can't be true. You can't believe everything in this one isolated view that you have of the world. And if you do, you haven't seen enough of it. So for me, and I'm just being honest, because I know that some people say, oh, you're just alt-right now. I used to be a Democrat, full-on crazy leftist liberal. That was me. I used to be. Yeah, no, I remember. And look, I still love New Order and Joy Division, even though when they first started out, they were what they were really was a working man's band. And so were the Sex Pistols. So in my view, and this is just my view, things are nuanced. Not everything is black and white. So we have to look at other sides. What reason would politicians have for not wanting to see or not wanting you to see information from anywhere, not just X, anywhere? Like, what did Telegram actually do wrong? I looked into it. What is being claimed is that things were happening on their platforms that they weren't able to police, meaning that they weren't taking it down fast enough. But think about this. Doesn't that happen with Meta? Didn't Facebook get in trouble for child stuff on their platform that they did nothing about? Did they arrest Zuckerberg? No, they didn't. Instagram. You can look into the seedy parts of Instagram and all the bad stuff is there. No one's arresting, again, Zuckerberg for this. It's only because Pavel said, I will not bend to have me spy on the users and give you their IP addresses. That is the reason. Underlying everything else, they don't like decentralization. That's the point. That is the point here. They do not like anything that's decentralized, because decentralized power could topple centralized power. And I think that this is the thing. I know, I hear you, Brent. I want to be apolitical. I do. And I understand, because look, every time I post something, someone chimes in and says, you just lost a fan. And I feel bad about it, because I feel like it can't be that polarized that I can't voice an opinion. Because if I start to censor myself, I'm going to be in trouble. And in fact, I will tell you that there are certain things, that I've done in the past where I thought to myself, man, I should speak up, and I didn't. And then I feel bad that I didn't. And there are times when, you have to. So let me play a song. And then we'll get back into this topic, because I want to read a little bit of the BBC stuff on this, because it was very, very interesting. What they thought of this. So, yeah. So this next one, did I play that already? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Sorry, I'm in a mode. But anyway, look, it's not, I'm not trying to be negative. In fact, what I'm trying to say is champion free speech in all forms. Even if it's the speech you don't like, I'm telling you, in the end, it will bite you if you don't. I champion all speech, even the speech I can't stand. I will accept it. I would rather see it than not see it. So, this one is, so we're going to do two covers now. This one came from Meta. This is Lori on Meta wanted to hear Lady in Waiting and dedicated to Edward Lewis. And I thought that was very nice. So I'm going to play that. But this is a different band doing it. This is a band called Arthur Meek doing Lady in Waiting. And so there you go. Lady in Waiting by, oh shoot, I forgot the name of the band. I'm so terrible. Arthur Meek. Oh my God. Sorry, Arthur Meek. I was sent that during the 2020 lockdowns, and it was so awesome. Yeah, you could hear a little bit of that. Steven says, nice 90s Sire Records sound there. Ocean Blue, perhaps. Yeah, it had that whole thing. So here, I have the article on my radar so that you can actually see it for yourself. Give me a second here. Then I can share my screen and we can peruse it together so you see what's going on here. So this is the BBC article, and this is literally just so far the latest news is that he's banned from leaving France until they figure out, a probe. So this is what he's basically, I'm going to highlight it and then I'll read it to you. He's basically, it's alleged that he's complicit in the administration of an online platform to enable illicit transaction by an organized gang, i.e., there's crypto on that platform. They don't like the decentralization aspect of it. Refusal to communicate with authorities, which is doublespeak for he did not want to reveal the names of people on the platform unless they were charged with something. If they're charged with something, he was happy to hand over stuff, but he wasn't going to just willy-nilly hand over stuff like private communications between individuals to see what they're doing. Complicity in organized distribution of sexual images of children. Again, he's made no comments on that stuff other than to say, so it says, while most of the world's largest social networks do engage with national and international bodies when it comes to serious criminal offenses, such as the sharing of child sexual abuse images, Telegram is accused of ignoring them. But that is simply not true. He was never ignoring them. You could report that stuff on Telegram. There were ways to report it, and it would get taken care of. The idea is that there's going to be bad actors every single time. In fact, let me give you an example, a really good example. On YouTube, right now, at this very moment, as I'm streaming, there's going to be crypto thieves trying to get your email, pretending to be me, saying that they've got an offer for this wonderful new collection of mints and blah, 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 blah. And they'll try to scam you. And what's even worse is these people buy ads on YouTube. They actually buy ads and distribute adverts. You're going to tell me that YouTube doesn't know this? That they don't know that this is fake? You're going to tell me they don't check the links and see that it's there or made to drain someone's wallet? Of course they do. But they don't want to lose that ad revenue. But I don't see them getting arrested for it. And I've seen a lot of terrible things on YouTube that shouldn't be on YouTube. And yet they are. So when something is harmful, yeah, of course, you got to take it down. This is different in the way that I'm talking about free speech. It is different because you're moderating. Moderating means this is obviously going to cause harm, physical harm to someone, or someone is being physically harmed. So therefore, let's get rid of this advert so that these people can't scam other people. Fine. And you send that warning to the person running the channel. They continue to do it, they're banned. That's not the same thing as I'm going to arrest you and take away the rights to put an app out because you hold privacy as the main tenet of your app. You hold decentralization up here, and therefore, because of that, we as a system can't have that. Because I'm going to tell you that if they do that now, what's going to happen to Object? What's going to happen to OpenSea? What's going to happen to all the minting platforms when artists get political and start making mints of very political views on those platforms. Are they going to be shut down? Is that what you really want? Just because they don't agree with you? And what are you going to do when those platforms start doing criminal things? Are you going to shut down the entire platform because there were some bad apples in there? This is what I mean. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, there's some, yeah. All this stuff. Scams are everywhere. I get scams in my email every day. Is someone going to arrest the CEO of Google because I clicked on one of them and somebody drained my wallet? Is someone going to be nice enough to arrest them for this? I don't think so. And I wouldn't expect them to. What I would expect is for them to moderate. And that's a very big difference. AI is not fixing it all. It's actually making it worse. Now they have AI scammers using AI with voices of familiar people on the phone. I actually got one of those. I don't know if you've gotten one of those, haven't gotten one of those yet, you're lucky. But I have gotten one of those. So yeah, Mr. Durov being detained was a big wake-up call to the idea of Patreon and, perhaps even Discord, especially Discord, because Discord, I think, lies in that magic in between. Like the reason I had chosen Discord was I liked how it was the in between Reddit and Telegram. It was decentralized enough that I really enjoyed it, and it was a walled garden, sort of the way that Telegram was. So I really liked it, and I thought this was going to be the way. But now I'm seeing if the guy who owns Telegram got arrested, and now the platform's in danger, and what's going to happen to Discord after I go through all the trouble. So I was worried about it. I will go back to it, and I think I'm going to reopen my Telegram account and figure out if I can use it. But yeah, I know. And there's a lot of people that sell fake merch of mine on all these different sites, and I can't stop them. But I'm not going to have the CEOs of those sites arrested. I wouldn't want the entire site to be shut down for the people that do sell stuff that is legit. So yeah, you have to moderate. Moderation is one thing. I'll tell you something funny. Oops. So funny. I'm supposed to play a song. All right. I'll play a song and then I'll come back and we keep going. Oh, wow. It's going so fast. Anyway, this is by my friends NMD, in which Claudio B does the lead vocals, and Fega, of course, passed away, but I've always liked this cover of Interleave by The Diary, and so I'm going to play that one next. Here we go. I'll keep the moon chat open so we can keep chatting. Ha! Funny. Funny question. No, this one actually didn't make it because this was something else that they had done on their own. I don't think this one's on there. Let me look and verify that. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong about this. Was that on the tribute or not? I thought it was. In fact, it wasn't. It was not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask him for the WAV file and I'm going to add it. I think it should be out. Because it should be out. Oh, thank you for that, Lalo. That's a very nice thing to say. Page 1 is going to come to Bandcamp, as is the Red album and all the other stuff. Expect to see, some attention on those things too, as the album comes out. I have plans, I have plans for the album. I really do. I think it's going to be awesome. I know it's like talking about your own whatever. I'm sorry. I think it's going to be awesome. I think the section of this album that people get to hear is going to make people really, really like it. That's what I think. And because of this, I think there's going to be a bit of attention on some of the older material. And so I'm definitely going to work that aspect of it. And the other side of this is, of course, that next year Peace may return to me. And when it does, there's going to be an even bigger reason to celebrate. So I think that despite it being dark times, it's a good time for that album to come out. And I needed to get some of that stuff out of my system. So that's a good thing. And then it frees me up to pursue other things too. So I'm very happy with the way it's come out so far. So, but yeah, just so that you know, the diary stuff will see the light of day on Bandcamp, which is good, under Anything Box's heading, so that basically people know that it exists, because other than that, most people don't know it exists. But I may run ads for that too, because I'm going to be doing that for the album. So I may run something for the diary too. Gosh knows I'm going to do it for a lot of them. So Thomas on YouTube said, not to change subject, but I bet you've got a great collection of CDs. My buddies like to haze me because I still buy CDs. I still buy CDs, but my collection is smaller than it was. Truth be told, I gave up a lot of my CDs in favor of streaming for a while, and then I realized it wasn't that good and that I really wanted my CDs back. So, but luckily a lot of my record collection is in 24-bit format. So I usually, this is my favorite thing to do if it's not a CD. I put stuff on my phone, on my SD card, my super fast SD card that's on my phone, and I plug my phone into my car, and I don't even do streaming. I just do my own library of stuff. But, this is stuff that I do. So, but yeah, no, I have a nice CD collection. I still have a lot of it. A lot of it is in my car. And I actually am one of the few people on earth that probably still owns, I literally own this, okay? I own a 200 CD changer. And yes, it's full. It has 200 CDs in it. So I literally have one of those. So yeah. Funny. So the other thing that happened this week that it came to a head today is that Brazil basically has banned X in the entire country. And I think that sets a weird precedent too. So it's going to start to be a little weird. I will admit, it's going to start to get a little strange. And I think we're going to see things we've never seen before. And I know we're probably seeing things we've never seen before since 2020. Because I feel that since the very beginning of the pandemic, this is where all of this came to a head. I think that's what's happened. And so I don't think we've seen the full aftermath of all this yet. I hate to say it, and I don't want to think that. And I'm keeping an open mind. But I have a feeling things are going to get really strange really fast. So we kind of have to stick together as people of the world. So that said, I had posted this earlier, but I'm going to say it like this. One always wonders, like, because I'm looking at my notes, sorry. How does this affect me here if that's country X, Y, and Z? I'm here, so how does that affect me? Well, the whole Brazil thing is an interesting one, as is Telegram, because there's quite a few Tezos artists that I was following on X who've been posting their goodbyes for the last 2 days, and I think that's really sad. They're going to lose their ability to communicate with the world at large. And yeah, I know some people say, well, they'll just go to Instagram and they'll just go to Warpcast and try something else. It's not the same. I know that's why they're still on X. It's not the same. You want to think it's the same. You might even say, oh, Warpcast is better. It's not. I was there for a while and it just seems like an echo chamber feeding on itself, and it's going to just die because there's nothing interesting. It's all the same stuff and all the same opinions and all the same people. So I feel like that's not going to solve the problem. You're just going to have a nice walled off echo chamber where the government gets to tell you what to do and take away your rights. And it's going to be, yeah, that's what those are going to be like. Those artists were on X for a reason, and now they're gone. This is the trickle-down effect of authoritarianism that really goes unseen. People are like, oh, they have no right to do this. Elon this, judge that. Those are the big people. Those are the people that are involved in this. But what about the little people that are affected? What about the artists that are affected? The musicians that are affected that now can't post to the world? Because it's the world. This is the problem. And, I don't know. I have no other way of saying it but like this. And I'm going to say it directly from my expanded post here. X is the world. It's ugly. It's hateful. But it's also pretty. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. Warlike. Fear porn. Gear porn. Art porn. Liberal. Republican. Centrist. Communist. Socialist. Surrealist. Sunday painters. Synth pop haters, new wave lovers, and anti-punk and punk, NFTers and NFT haters, straight, gay, new genders, the phobics, the conservatives, the nihilists, the religious people, racists, dissidents, shills, CIA, Bitcoiners, Tezzies, FBI, all of them are there. It's the fucking world. It's the whole fucking world. That's why it's important. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the whole fucking world with all its ugliness and all its beauty. And that's what you're supposed to see. That's what the internet was for. It's not so we can build a little wall around ourselves and say, this stuff doesn't exist. And I can make it not exist by just banning it. It doesn't work anyway. It's still going to be there. In fact, it may thrive because you're not there to stop it, or you're not there to call it out. That's the problem. Stop being part of the problem. Learn to get along with people that don't have the same opinion as you. It's not the end of the world. In fact, the end of the world comes when all of us go into our separate little corners and these beastly people that control things take full advantage of it and enslave us all. That's the real problem. And you think that it's not going to happen on the left? Wrong. You think it's not going to happen on the right? Wrong. You think it's not going to happen with the socialists? Wrong. It's always wrong because it always works out that way. Rome fell for a reason. So stop living in your bubbles. It's not going to help you. So we do have to fight against these authoritarian regimes that seek to limit the way people think, especially when it comes to thought. You're allowed to think whatever you want and air it. If people don't agree with you, it's called It's actually called the law of reciprocation and consequence. It means that if people like what you say, they're going to reciprocate and say, hey, I agree with you, man. I agree. If they don't, the consequences is they're going to come out and say this to you and not agree with you. And that's it. That's the truth. And then we get to work in a real world scenario where everyone gets to participate. So that's why I'm not leaving X. That's why I got my blue check. That's why I'm going to stay on it. Because it is the world. It's the world. I don't care who owns it. It's the world. So I'm sad that the people that were on X, the Brazilian artists and the people that are now scared to post because they're going to get arrested. And if they use a VPN, which by the way, you could use a VPN, they'll never catch you anyway. They won't. So they're not that smart. But the reality it is that people are afraid now to post, even through a VPN. They're not going to post their NFTs. They're not going to post their music. They're not going to post their poetry and the sculptures they made and the films they made that they want other people in the world to see, except their quote unquote politicians who will coddle them and say, this is okay for you. You can say this, but you can't say that. That's what you want? That's really what you want. Think about it. Look in the mirror and think about it. Is this what I want? Do I really want a world where every single person agrees with me and only me, and everything else that I'm opposed to just disappears as if it doesn't exist? You know what I mean? Like, it's going to exist whether you like it or not. So you might as well see it, face it, fight it, because it's better to fight it than to ignore it. So anyway, that's why I got the blue check. So expect me to be much more noisy in all aspects of things, because that's just, who I am. I want people to wake up and know that they're some people do care. So anyway, I feel bad that some of my Tezos friends are gone, and I hope they return soon, and I hope they get their VPNs. There's quite a few, and some of them are even people that I don't agree with politically, but I love their art. So be it. That's the way it works. I don't care. I don't care if you believe that the whole world should be communist, but if I like your art, I like your art. Is that weird? Maybe. Maybe that makes me really strange, but that's just me. Because I'm looking at it from different points of view. I'm not looking at it strictly as you're pushing your ideology on me. I can tell when someone is. And if someone does do that to me, it's really like, for me, it's like, boring, whatevs. Like, that's really my viewpoint when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not that easily swayed. Can I help? I mean, yeah, I don't know how I would help. All I can say is fight. Fight and vote. Use your money. People in Brazil, use your money, man. Start fighting. Start fighting those people that would do this to you. Because eventually, like I said, even if you agree with it, eventually someone's going to come around that doesn't agree with something you don't like, and suddenly you're the bad guy. And then think about that. You will be the bad guy at some point. I'll tell you a funny story. I posted this today on X, which is kind of funny. But I used to be on this site when there's an account on X called Disclose TV, which is kind of cool. It's a little bit on the fringe, conspiracy side. But when it used to be a full-on site and you used to be able to post stuff, I loved it. And I used to be there underground. And this is many years ago that I started using it back in 2001. And I loved it. I loved it because I liked all the crazy alien ghost stuff and all the weird stuff that I would find. But there was always this really weird thing that would happen. I was always like the liberal in the middle. And so what would happen is, if I wasn't liberal enough, the liberals would think that I was some sort of right-wing FBI agent trying to find out stuff about them. And when I was too far on the left side of the spectrum, the people on the right would be that I was an CIA shill. So for a long time, people would say, watch out for that one because he's FBI or CIA. Do you know why they thought this? Because I wouldn't agree with everything on whatever side I was on. I would agree with the things I really, truly agreed with, and I was not afraid to say that part of the ideology I don't agree with. I just don't agree with it. Sorry, I don't believe this. I don't believe it. And they're like, well, then you can't be liberal. Well, I can. I can be liberal and not be part of every single ism that a liberal is. I can be conservative and not be part of every single ism that a conservative is. Thank you for saying that, Brent. That's what a real punk rocker does. That's what real punk rock was about. You were against all systems, not the left system, not the right system, all systems. It was, in fact, pure anarchy. Now, as you get older, some conservatism gets into you. And of course, when you have kids, some sort of conservative gets into you and you start to care about these children that you've brought to the world. And you're like, I need to care for these people. And I need to instill in them some sort of values. I never pushed, for example, religion on my kids. I said they could believe anything they wanted to believe, that I would take them to any church they wanted, and they could make up their own choices in the end. So, that's the kind of parent I was. Like, we could talk about anything. If they wanted to talk to me about drugs, they could talk to me about drugs. I could give them my opinion. I could even enforce my opinion. But the reality is, what I wanted them to be more than anything was independent thinkers that could do their own thing. That's what I wanted them to do. I didn't want them to be swayed by politics. I didn't want them to be swayed by religion. It's really that simple. You can believe in God and not be a total, weird nut job of the religious side of things. And when I say that, I don't mean just Christians. I'm not singling Christians out. It's all of the religions. You can be a believer and not be a full-on crazy person. That doesn't mean that you're now on the right because you believe in God. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. You could be a liberal and believe in God. You could be a right-winger and be an atheist. There are nuances to everything. And we can learn so much from other people that have these opposing views. I used to have the greatest conversations with people in cafes way before 2019, where we would literally discuss everything in heated debate. And yet I'm buying the next round. That's the way it should be, man. Come on. It's 2024 and we're going to bring in 1984? Is that really what we want? So, yeah. It's like when you see, though, and this is what I mean, like I said, it's always out there somewhere until you see it in your face. And today I saw it in my face when I saw all those artists posting their goodbyes. It felt terrible. It really did. It felt terrible to me. I was very deeply hurt by it. It really upset me. And, someone was saying it's a first world problem. It's just artists, Yeah, but it's their livelihood. They're on a platform seeking the world. And now their world is cut off because they don't agree. They're stuck in the middle of this stupid fight. So for me, you got to take a stand on things. You do. But it doesn't have to be violent. It doesn't have to be something that causes people hurt. You know what I mean? I don't know. Ending this rant. So anyway, I'm going to play. I have a couple more to do. And I'll just pivot into next week will be fun. And we're going to have fun next week. No negative stuff. But unfortunately, this week it caught up with me. So this was requested by Mean Gene. Mean Gene on X requested 65 million miles. And I'm going to play it and then I'll come back and then we'll wrap this whole thing up.
I heard from the station you're leaving tonight. I knew it would happen someday. Still I feel so numbed. You're going home. The earth seems beautiful, somehow lonely too. Now that we are here, I want time with you. Can't face the night. You're going home. Turn away, walk away, just please don't face me now. Can't you see there'll be tears just covering my frown? This emptiness is clear. You're going home. Can it be that I loved you always far too long? Could it be the great distance that will keep us cold? Can it be that I'll call your name? You're going home. 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 When I'm floating still, I'll think of your face. And when it rains, I'll be quite the same. My heart won't rest. I've been undone. Can it be that I loved you always far too long? Could it be the great distance that will keep us cold? Can it be that I'll call your name? You're going home. You're going home. You're going home. You're going home. You're going home.
We hope you've been enjoying tonight's featured group.
Oh, shoot, I got caught drinking.
We wrap things up with a final song. Next week, on
Without
Lonely Hour
digressing.
with the Doctor, we'll
Oh,
be presenting
geez.
the notorious B.O. Thank you. And
Bourbon. Oh, wait. So I know you guys are going to laugh at me for this, but this is one of my favorite drinks in the whole world. I love eggnog with bourbon in it. I don't know why, but I really do. It's like one of my favorite drinks in the whole world. And you know that time is coming and they start selling that eggnog. Although I can make it, but you know, then I'd be drinking a lot. So it's one of the reasons I like November so much. I'm like, yes, eggnog season. Eggnog. Oh, man. But I digress. I'm not totally toast. But anyway, so on a good note, so next week it will be fun. We'll get to hear the album in its entirety on Bandcamp as part of the, release party thing. And then when the stream comes on, we'll talk about the Spotify thing that I've done, and you will understand. And then things are going to get really interesting from there. But milk, milk. Who drinks milk? No, I'm kidding. I drink milk too. That's right. September 1st, Sunday band camp. I would have done it tonight, but then I thought it'll be one full week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, okay? Don't take it bad if something happens on the first and it doesn't go down, because I have a feeling that maybe Bandcamp will let me do something out of the ordinary. So we'll see. Oh, milk with quick. Oh, only if it's hot. Oh man, yeah. I'm not getting cravings for milk at this moment. I'm sorry. Oh, that's so funny. You guys are funny. We've got 2 more to play, so I'm gonna just play them like machine gun them. So the ravine was from Dylan Rose on Instagram, which I thought was cool that it was an Instagram request. So I'm gonna play the ravine, but this is the Worth album/video mix, so it's a little different. Not much, but it's just enough different. And then I'll come back, play the last song, and we're out of here. And then you can talk to me next week. I'm just going to leave it with this last song, and I'll leave it at that. This is a song that goes 360 on what you just heard, but this is how I want to end it. Oh, you can see my lovely red curtains. Nice. But anyway, I digress. Oh my gosh. Oh, I might as well just finish it now. I'm going to be properly drank by the time I'm done. Kidding, but not really. But enjoy yourselves. Champion the real good work, man. And I'll say it like this: one of the nicest virtues on earth that all humans can agree with, regardless of their religions and stuff, is this: empathy goes a long way, kindness goes a long way, sharing goes a long way. If you could do those three things, I think you find that a lot of good things can get done. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this request that came in from, and all the requests came from X, most of them this time. This is for JP on X, Negaverse from Electrodelico. That will end it all, and I'll start shutting things down while you're listening. But here we go. Negaverse. Good night.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?